Rodents like mice and rats are some of the most hated animals in the world. They carry diseases, contaminate food, and destroy property. But they're also incredibly smart. In fact, there's a mouse intelligence test that you might be familiar with. It's called the Maze test, and it shows just how smart mice really are. First, you have to understand how the test works. Basically, the mouse is put into one end of a maze and food is placed at the other end. At first, the mouse doesn't know which direction to go, but once it takes a few steps, it remembers where it went. Then, when it reaches a junction, it can use what's called path integration to figure out where it needs to go next. Essentially, the mouse keeps track of the direction it's facing and the distance it's traveled. So by remembering the sequence of turns it took and how far it went, it can retrace its steps back to the start or go further along its path to reach the food. Over time, the mouse learns the optimal route and gets faster and faster until it can get through the maze in less than 2 minutes. Some people might think that this is actually pretty simple, but don't forget, we're talking about a creature that has an IQ comparable to a 2-year-old human child. Mice have also been shown to be able to learn and remember routes in mazes with up to 12 arms. And they can remember those routes for months. But the maze test isn't the only thing that proves how smart mice are. They can also be trained to recognize themselves in the mirror. Now, self-recognition in mirror isn't exactly the same thing as being able to pass the mark. A lot of animals can pass the mark, but don't show any signs of self-awareness. Take crabs, for example. When crabs are tested in mazes, they perform almost as well as rats. They can even remember mazes with up to 12 arms. But if you place a crab in front of a mirror, it won't recognize itself. In order to pass the mirror test, an animal has to realize that the reflection looking back at it is itself. And at first, mice don't know this either. If you place a mouse in front of a mirror for the first time, it will try to interact with its own reflection, just like a crab would. But after a while, the mouse begins to realize that its reflection isn't a separate mouse. In fact, it's part of itself. Eventually, the mouse will start acting like it understands that it's looking at itself. It will touch its reflection, try to groom itself in the mirror, and even try to sniff its own butt in the mirror. Now, scientists don't know exactly how the mouse performs these actions without sticking its whole head in the mirror and seeing its butt. It's possible the mouse sees its own reflection and mentally rotates the image so that it lines up with its body. Or maybe it uses visual landmarks like its whiskers to piece together the image of its reflection. Either way, passing the mirror test indicates that mice have self-awareness, which is an advanced cognitive ability that was thought to be unique to humans. Mice have also been found to be capable of experiencing a wide range of emotions, including grief. In one study, mice were separated from their cage mates and then given a chance to reunite with them. The reunited mice showed all the typical signs of grief, including vocalizations, loss of appetite, and lethargy. They were even found to spend more time sniffing their cage mates' urine, which may have been an attempt to locate them in the event they had passed away. Mice have also been shown to be curious, playful, affectionate, and even social. They can form bonds with their caretakers and show preference toward interacting with certain humans over others. And although mice have a reputation for being dirty animals, they actually prefer to stay clean. Like cats, they use grooming as a form of communication, a way of showing submission or dominance, and even as a bonding experience. And even though mice are often considered to be pests, they do play an important role in the ecosystem. They help control populations of insects and other small creatures and are a food source for predators like snakes, owls, and foxes. Plus, mice have been used in scientific research for centuries. They helped us develop the polio vaccine, and they're currently helping us develop new cancer treatments. So the next time you see a mouse, keep in mind that it's not just a little rat. It's a highly intelligent creature with a complex emotional life. As much as I hate to admit it, they're kind of like little furry geniuses. Speaking of little furry geniuses, did you know that rats are actually more intelligent than dogs? Click here to learn more, or click here to watch this video. As always, thanks for watching.